All right.
This game is once in a century. Be there at Casey's Center on February 12th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Party.
I'm Chris Williams. Join me weekly for the CW Pod on Iowa Everywhere, where I do a lot of sports business, the business of college sports, breaking down college football, and of course, intriguing interviews as well, weekly on Iowa Everywhere.
He might have too much tea. See that?
Murph and Andy, talking sports and more, exclusively on Iowa Everywhere. From the Channel Seed Studios, here are Keith Murphy and Andy Fales.
It is Murph and Andy on a Wednesday, and the state football semifinals are already underway up the Unidome in 8-player football. So, Andy, we start 4 days of semifinals inside when we really have weather. You can play these games outdoors and be happy.
Yeah, it's ironic, isn't it? I mean, usually this week we're all really thankful that we have this dome to duck inside of in Iowa, but the weather outside is going to be better than the weather inside.
How about that? Yes. More on that coming up a little bit later. And by the way, because I'm getting so many inquiries about it, you can watch all of the state semifinals football, be other sports too, but football with the WHO 13 Plus app. It's free. Just wherever you search for apps, you'll find it. Download it. It's in high definition. Games are also on 13.4, which is the Weather Channel if you're in central Iowa, but those are not in HD. So most people are going to want to use the app if you can. And there's some videos out there to show you how to do it if you're confused by it at all, but getting a lot of questions about that. Andy, last night turned into a light show where there was everybody seemed to participate in trying to get a photo or a look at the Aurora Borealis Northern Lights.
Yeah,
Woo,
it did. It was amazing. And usually we just get this kind of stuff from friends who are in Minnesota or Wisconsin or Canada. But you could see it all over Iowa. And you didn't have to have fancy photography equipment. You did have to have an iPhone. You couldn't just step outside and see it with your bare eyes, at least in the city. But
yeah, in the city you couldn't. And I, on Facebook, on my Facebook page, I was asking for photos and ended up getting, like more than 600 because people had so many, and it was really cool to see. But a bunch of people did show an example of just being able to see it in the naked eye. But as you said, they weren't in the city.
No, those city lights.
Yeah, many people could do that without the iPhone. This photo here that we're seeing is from Chris Williams. And what is that, Lake Bondurant? Where is this?
There is a lake, a little pond.
Yeah, I wonder if that's where that is, because that's right across from his house.
Patoka or something they call it.
It looks enormous.
It looks
there,
really
though. It
big.
looks like
yeah.
one of the Great Lakes in that photo, but that's a cool picture. I think we have some more of this coming up tonight, right? We're going to have another shot at this.
Yeah, we do. We'll show you some more pictures and talk a little bit more about Aurora Borealis coming up in more as well.
All right, and I'm not surprised. Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines sets the table for today's sports and more. Coming up, Live and Die in L.A., Drawing 21, and Caitlin tops the Marquee. That's all ahead, presented by Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines. Nightly specials, including Walleye Wednesday. That's fresh walleye, salt and vinegar fries, $20. Now, high or low since last show.
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Good advice for your retirement can be had easily with a phone call or just logging on to wealthcharterretirement.com. They're right up in Ankeny. We know those guys. What did I do here? I'm trying to remember. I didn't print out my sheet.
Travis
I got
video story tonight.
Yeah. That's right. I got a story coming up here tonight.
End of an era.
Yeah, I don't get to do too many of these anymore, but this is kind of a neat story on a Des Moines business that has been around since 1949. Travis Audio Video. They used to do a lot of TV commercials. You would see them kind of everywhere. They're a very visitable business and very, very well known, obviously, when you're around that long, but also just in that business of taking care of people's home entertainment. That's a fun business, I think. It's been a fun place to go shop for a long time for cool TVs and stereos, speakers, and components, stuff like that. They are going out of business. You'll see out there on Douglas Avenue. You can look. They've got a big going out of business sign out front, and it's sad. I think it's sad for a lot of people that grew up in this area and know that is a real original Des Moines business.
It's kind of a sign that a store like this really just can't make it right now.
No, and that's been the case for a long time, and somehow this family and these siblings who took over after their dad. Jeff, Randy, and Sherry have been able to make a go of it their dad died 15 years ago, and they've been able to keep it going. And, he really, since Best Buy came around in the 80s, this has been, they've been paddling against the current. It's just so difficult for a small audio visual business. The profit margins are really, really, really tight. But they have just kind of serviced the heck out of everybody and made that kind of their business where, you want a really great TV and a sound system in your house. We'll come in and install all the speakers and put them in the walls and the ceilings and run the cords through, all your floors and stuff. They've done that for the longest time, but it's just now they've kind of reached the point where they're all about 70 and ready to retire, and they don't have any kids who want to take over the business. So they're just going to close up the shop one last time at the beginning of December and, a little salute to their mom and dad and walk away. So I did a little story with them, and that runs tonight at 10 on the Channel 13 News.
That will be an emotional salute for sure. I realize these things now as we just moved out of a longtime family home. Those things do bring the feels. Also bring the feels. Jerry with just coming in with the strongest comment of the day so far. Here in Nebraska, the Auroras look good, but everyone kept saying they were better in the 90s. Can't miss an opportunity. That's great. My high is just finding out that the holiday parade presented by Hy-Vee that's coming up, Saturday after Thanksgiving, downtown Des Moines, 2-hour parade. And Dallas Clark is going to be the Grand Marshal. And this is a perfect choice because this is a guy who loves people. And he's always so personable and charismatic. Like we've seen him so many times on RVTV. You can get him to do anything. Like that one year that I don't remember who kicked the soccer ball, but it hit me in the face during a live shot. And the next day, we just positioned Dallas for live shots just there as protection, as various somebody off camera kept throwing balls at my face and Dallas kept grabbing them, catching them. You could get him to do just anything because he's fun. And he just likes talking to people. We've gotten to know him well over the years, and this is a good choice. He just got back from Germany with his kids, where he was the ambassador for the Colts in Germany in that outreach thing. And of course, the Colts would pick Dallas Clark. Why wouldn't you? He's going to go over there and make you want to become a Colts fan.
Yeah, he a great guy. I agree.
Yeah, he's going to be a good choice. All right, now here's the buzz.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
So Logier Heating and Cooling heading to our new place now because the inspector said our furnace was kind of dirty and needed cleaning. So they're coming over to do that. And we know they'll do it well. So appreciate that. Iowa drops just one in the college football poll. Andy, you were right. I was wrong. I thought it would be more of a drop than this. It was a home loss against a good team, but it was a home loss. But other teams around Iowa did lose, and all three of Iowa's losses are one possession in the final couple minutes of the game. So they stay 21. Now, I don't know if you're ready for this. More importantly, I don't know if Hassel is ready for this. The computer models say the Hawks are not dead yet. 21% chance. I'm not sure AD is ready for this. 21% chance if Iowa wins out could still make the college football playoff.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of season left. There are a lot of things could still change.
It's a long shot. It's really unlikely, but it could.
But it's fun to have yourself still in the mathematical possibilities,
right?
And is kind of bummed as everybody is this week if they win at USC. They won't be quite as high as they were rolling before, but they'll be way back up there.
It's great, like awesome.
Do you wish this wasn't the case? Do you want to just move past it?
I wish that everything wasn't focused on the playoff, and we knew this was going to happen with conference expansion and playoff expansion, that the only thing that really seems to matter is whether or not you make the playoff. And so therefore, once you're out of the playoff, your season doesn't matter anymore. And that just can't, Murph, you put this a good way a couple of weeks ago. It just can't be the case for Iowa and Iowa State fans. We can't put all of our hopes on that because it's going to rarely even be a possibility, let alone actually happen. And so I had already moved mentally into, okay, hey, win these next 3 games. You get a nice trophy game against Nebraska. You get a good bowl game. Like there's still a lot to be had. There's still a lot of fun. But now this is going to put that thought right back in my head that, maybe if things go the right way and everything works out, maybe they can play for a national championship. And it's like, I had moved past it. I was ready to move past it. I don't need to be sucked back into it. And it just, I don't like this about college football right now, that the playoff is the only thing that matters.
Eli Drinkwitz of Missouri just said those exact words in his press conference yesterday. He was like, we've created a monster here, where if you're not in the college football playoff, your fans are checking out for the final 3 or 4 games because they feel like there's no reason to play. We already know how these bowl games have diminished. And, Andy, what they've done to the conferences, we probably haven't paid enough attention to what a wrecking ball this was to common sense and geographical rivalries. But look at this. Texas A&M is 3 in the college football playoff poll, going in all likelihood to the SEC championship game. Texas A&M hasn't played Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, or Vanderbilt. They're going to cruise through their season without playing any of those top 25 teams. Swing it over to the Big Ten. Ohio State, who we know is legit, but Ohio State's going to go to the Big Ten championship game without playing Oregon, Iowa, Indiana, or USC.
And that's just the way it's going to be sometimes.
It's
these
a terrible
conferences
way
are
to
it's
create
too
a champion.
Yeah, I mean, these conferences are too big, and there are some good solutions. Break them into sub-conferences and make them regional again, the way they were supposed to be.
Legends and leaders returns.
I mean, you can see this coming with a telescope. That this was going to be a problem, and what the solution is, because we had a solution. I mean, not that we started with this with this kind of problem, but this is why we developed these regional conferences, rivalries, because first of all, you just want to see your team play the teams around you.
Yeah, your neighbors.
I mean, Iowa doesn't play Illinois. That would be a really interesting game to see. Indiana and Ohio are next to each other, and they're major rivals. It's just the idea that it's there will be some years that no matter what, I mean, you're not going to get one matchup that you feel like just should happen. There's not a flex schedule, but for it to be set up this way where you just have so many damn teams in a conference, it's like, and they're from so far away from one another, they shouldn't be in the same conference. I mean, I don't know that you need to make it more complicated than that. I mean, we know why they're in that conference, but there isn't really a reason, right? I mean, it's monetary. That's the reason. And beyond that, what's the next reason?
I loved when the Big 12 got down to 10 teams and everyone played everyone else in the conference. I mean, that was just a few years ago, but that was fun. That was cool. And then in basketball, you had the home and away against everybody. That was fantastic.
But the other conferences didn't have that, and it seemed
didn't.
unfair that the Big 12 did have to do that.
And they needed to expand.
And in the case of this year, it almost seems like a relief that the Big Ten has a championship game. So you will see Indiana and Ohio State.
The problem is they have nothing to play for in that game other than a Big Ten banner, which doesn't mean anything anymore.
What a weird situation that is. You can almost see those teams being like, yeah, we decided we're not going to play this game this year.
It happens in the NFL. You know, Saquon Barkley sat out the 17th game despite having some rushing records in his sight.
Yeah.
And you do wonder, could that happen here? Mm-hmm. Could you put your quarterback on the bench for that game? I mean, could you try to protect your shot at a national championship by saying winning this is, other than being the Big Ten champion, which used to mean a lot more than it does now, why risk an injury?
Or say we don't want to play at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just forfeit the game. We don't need it.
It's so weird. Hawks going to USC. USC does move up now 17th. And here's what the Hawks had to say about getting over the heartbreak of losing to Oregon and moving on.
I'm human. Everyone's human. There's always that what if thought process about different games, but it's something that you can't sulk on. You can't think about it forever. And maybe that was something that I thought about on Saturday, maybe a little bit on Sunday, and you get that 24-hour rule to kind of think like that. But then you got to have to push to the side. And what's happened, and you got to be able to move forward on it.
It's tough, but at the end of the day, you got to look forward. There's still so much left out there for us in this season. And it's tough. It hurts, after those games, especially when they're so close. It really does suck and it hurts for a little bit, but you have to be able to move on.
You're always like, man, what if this, what if that? But, it's tough. It's life. It's a game of football. Not everything's going to go your way. But, this team has done a great job of, flipping the script. Like, okay, what we could have did or we didn't do it. All right, how can we take that and go into the next week and do that this week? So
I'll just say that we're a little tougher than that. We're not going to have that type of mentality where a loss is going to just ruin our season. We're just going to scrap everything that we've worked so hard.
Well, they're sure saying the right things. That video courtesy of John Sears at WHO 13, but I believe them. I don't think there's anything to suggest this team isn't going to go play hard the rest of the season. The weather in LA, Andy, if you've looked ahead, a hard rain is possible for this game, and the weather will be significantly better in Des Moines than Los Angeles. What does that remind you of?
The Orange Bowl.
The Orange Bowl against Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
We froze our
that.
asses off there.
Yeah, and, this is a good game, I think, to kind of get you out of the funk, right? Because
it's an interesting game.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're going way out to the West Coast. I mean, I think you can just completely get yourself out of any sort of, mindset around the Oregon game. It's just not going to feel like that at all. So it'll feel like something completely fresh and new. And it's USC, one of those teams where you just look at their helmet and it's important. And it's a team that's ranked ahead of them. I mean, just, logically presented. I mean, this is a game with another enormous opportunity behind it. So, USC is good. We've seen them come up with some big wins in the Big Ten, but I don't know that they've seen a team quite like Iowa, so they're going to have their hands full with the Hawks.
It should be interesting, and you mentioned the USC helmets and those iconic uniforms. Remember when Iowa State switched to what basically looked like USC's uniform for a while? That's another opportunity to say, Iowa State, you're doing it a lot better now. These uniform kits that they've been wearing the past couple of years, especially this year, that's so much better than what looked like was no longer Cardinal. They had gone almost to Minnesota or USC type uniforms, and they've come a long way since then. Speaking of Iowa State, off this weekend again, but Iowa State played Colorado 20 years ago today in the Tornado game. Hard to believe it's been 20 years. I was texting back and forth with our friend Ed Wilson this morning because we were both there. and we were both there to watch the game, and we both got a call that said, "Sober up, I need you on camera."
Mm-hmm.
And we both ended up doing quite a bit of reporting that night. The game kicked off about a 30-minute delay before it kicked off. And then there were 8 tornadoes in 7 Iowa counties, and the EF2 was over Ames during that game. And they had to clear the stadium. And Ed was recalling how one of the assistant coaches called him and said, "We're sending people out of the stadium. What should we do?" And Ed said, "Well, stop having them go through those tents. The rods that hold those tents up are like
lightning rods.
Yeah. Lightning rods. Mm-hmm. Get them out of there," because they're trying to get them over to Hilton Coliseum and down low and in the basement. But he's like, "Do not have them march through the tents." But it was just a wild, bizarre night, and Iowa State ended up winning that football game 30-18, 20 years ago today.
That was when the Jack Trice Stadium was open-ended on both sides, so it were both ends. So the wind would just whistle right through there.
Yes, it was a tunnel.
South to, yeah, it was a different. It's a far cry from what that stadium is like now. I mean,
it's hard to believe it's the same place.
Yeah, it is. They went underneath the stands, as I remember, and I don't remember how in the world they did that. I'm trying to think what. Yeah, they went under. Somehow they put them under the stands, under the big blocks there. They put some fans. Would have been under the south end zone stands. Those stands as well.
Is that right? Yeah.
Kind of tucked everybody wherever they could because it was, everybody was just totally exposed.
I was in the parking lot on camera. That's probably not the safest place to be. But
no, with the live truck with the big mast up, yeah.
I remember telling our news director at the time, Mark Ginther, I remember saying, I haven't shaven in 2 days, and I'm wearing like a sweatshirt or sweater or something.
Yeah.
Because no one cares. And he was right, of course. But, yeah, it was quite a surprise just to have all that going. And of course, it was great for our station to have Ed there because he was not only on the air, but he was like helping Iowa State with what to do because I don't recall anything happening like that. And we're seeing people now saying they went to Hilton and Hilton turned into an impromptu pep rally.
Sense.
That's what Mike said. I do know a lot of people went to Hilton because I recall Ed telling them to stop marching the people through the tents, even though that provided coverage from the rain. You're walking by lightning rods. Don't do that.
Yeah, man, we have covered tornadoes in so many different spots in the state. I mean, including
more than me.
In Des Moines.
Yeah.
Like in the suburbs. In Des Moines proper. We got hit with a tornado. Was that last year or 2 years ago? It was right here.
I don't know. I can't believe it's been 20 years since the tornado game. Quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas in Ames and Urbandale. Let's see what AD thinks.
What is Iowa's most impressive win? Is it against Minnesota 41-3, at home against Penn State 25-24, at Rutgers 38-28, or at Wisconsin 37-0? I'm going to go the Penn State game mostly because Iowa had to come back from down double digits in the second half. Minnesota is probably the better team, certainly on paper, than Penn State, but that game was over in the second quarter. Iowa just blitzkrieged Minnesota. Penn State, Iowa had to come back. They had to, stay resolved. Mark Gronowski had to make some big plays with his legs. So I'm going to go with that one.
I'll go the other way. I'll go with Minnesota. Minnesota is a pretty good team, and Iowa absolutely blew them out from the opening whistle. It was not even close. It looked like, it just looked like they were driving a semi down a residential street, at 90 miles an hour. They just pulverized Minnesota. Minnesota looked like they were ready to just turn around and get back on the bus after the first quarter.
The case for Wisconsin is it being on the road in a historically difficult place to play and 37-0. The case for Penn State is that's by far the most talented team. I mean, this was the number 2 team in the country to start the season, but it, of course, has not had a good season. You made the case for Minnesota there. I don't know that you can make the case for Rutgers other than
no.
They turned a corner and it was on the road. What was interesting to me, what made me think of this question is last night had an LOL Nebraska fan who, the people who punctuate all their thoughts even when they're not funny with LOL. Like, what is Iowa's best win?
Yeah.
LOL, LOL.
Like they're
LOL.
trying to pretend like they're laughing at you.
Yeah. And I was like, I guess it's 41-3 against Minnesota.
LOL.
LOL. How did Nebraska do against Minnesota? Yeah. What are you talking about? Nebraska lost to Minnesota like 24-6. And
help me help you, Nebraska.
Yeah, let me help you. Let me help you out there. I'm going to say Minnesota as well, just because so convincing against a good team. It is hard to not think about what AD's saying in the Penn State game, but is Minnesota winning?
They checked a lot of boxes in that game, and Iowa just checked one box in the Minnesota game, but they checked it with one of those mega Sharpies. It was just like, okay, this team is ready to go, man. This team is scary.
Yeah, 56% there. Saw someone in my comments last night said that Iowa State is Iowa's worst loss and Iowa is Iowa State's best win.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
I have to do the mental gymnastics.
Right. I'll let you guys answer for me.
Think that through. I don't know. Interact on YouTube. Email Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. It's also the address for X. It's powered by the Cellular Advantage. U.S. Cellular, now owned by T-Mobile. So best of both worlds. Number one Iowa, number one USA. So, just laughing, thinking about this because it's just such a mess. So Brian Kelly is now suing LSU. And this whole debacle just keeps getting more embarrassing on every level. So his lawsuit against LSU states that LSU offered him $25 to $30 million instead of the $53 million buyout. When he didn't accept it, Kelly claims in his lawsuit that LSU said it hadn't actually fired him, but could now fire him for cause because they were able to do that if they chose that nuclear option. So what? He's saying he hasn't been fired.
How much did he end up getting?
They haven't decided that yet. He's gonna sue. They want him to take 25 to 30 million. He wants the whole
50,
thing,
which you understand. Yeah.
All of us would just like a piece of any of this, but yes, we don't have the LSU job. How can you not think of Costanza? What if Brian Kelly just goes back to work? I just was told I haven't been fired.
That's when George was pretending to be handicapped so that he could get the handicapped bathroom. Let's face it, Jerry, I have always been handicapped. Maybe not physically, but he was.
Now he had actually
just
been
kept
fired,
showing up,
right?
for work.
But he just kept showing up anyway, right?
I'm trying to think why he.
I think he was fired, but he's just like,
I don't remember.
I'm just going to keep showing up, and just everybody would get uncomfortable.
Yeah, and really the only reason he liked that job, Play Now Sports. Yeah, it was a poorly run company, and that's when Kramer was inventing the ocean oil tanker bladder system. It was like a rubber liner for the oil tanker so they wouldn't spill.
Yeah,
nothing is messier than a giant ball of oil.
It's Michael Keaton in Night Shift. Feed mayonnaise to the tuna fish.
Yep.
I mean, cut to the
Kramerica Industries.
Take a step out.
It was mossy.
Patriots Jets Thursday night. Patriots playing haven't had a tough schedule, but playing really well. And the alternate uniforms, Andy, even these are better than what they wear on a regular basis. Now they're not as good as the throwbacks, but don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fresh spin on it. That's maybe why I think it's better. But what is that kind of a?
Looks like almost
like a
Marquee Northwest.
Slate blue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's better. It's better than what they wear. Caitlin Clark is playing in a Pro-Am on the Golf Channel right now. Her caddy is, well, her pretend caddy is Sophie Cunningham. Lexi Hull might be out there too. And what's interesting, I watched this just for a few minutes on the Golf Channel, and at the top, the banner the entire time, sign of her stardom, just says Caitlin Clark Pro-Am. It's not the Caitlin Clark Pro-Am. It's the Annika Sorenstam Pro-Am. But the Golf Channel has labeled it the Caitlin Clark Pro-Am because the reason everybody is
the Golf Channel is doing that. Yeah, it's not the WNBA channel,
no,
right?
the Golf Channel. Yeah, the
Golf Channel where you should know who Annika Sorenstam is.
Yeah, and the WNBA channel would probably put the Annika Sorenstam Open or the Angel Reese Open, but on the Golf Channel they actually put the Caitlin Clark Pro-Am. And
well, I mean, that's smart. That's if somebody is flipping by and they see that, even if Caitlin's not on the screen at the time, they might stop.
Right. The galleries are, it's like last year, it just lined with people for this. It continues to be astounding. Confluence, the official beer of Murph and Andy, Confluence Brewing, is well known for its seasonal beers. Right now, try their basic batch pumpkin ale. And you can't go wrong with their fall standbys like Chewbacca Doppelbock and Campfire Black Lager. Campfire Black Lager, one of the more simple names at Confluence.
Yeah, only 3 words. But no, that's a long menu. But yeah, John Martin is always pulling out new stuff for every season. He's got a full lineup of fall beers there. So try those out. If you haven't, you just got to sample them. Always take home at least one new 4-pack if you're shopping for Confluence, something you haven't tried yet.
They're good, and they have fun with it, which I really appreciate. Let's get some more.
But wait, there's more. From Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Eatery and Patio, you'll find them at 6222 Grand Avenue. And you'll find inside right now them all decorated for the holidays. It is tinsel. They have really gone above and beyond this year. And I think we're getting closer to the holidays where it feels like you want to definitely make a special trip over there. Also have some special menu items, cocktails and food alike. Back to the night we had last night. Aurora Borealis, just incredible. It was spotted in a large swath of states, not just Iowa. Idaho, Iowa, Missouri, New Mexico, New York, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and Washington State. I can add Illinois to that because Eric the Orange was sending me pictures last night from southern Illinois where he could see it just plain as day at night.
Well, I'm glad to hear you give the geography of this because I did not understand last night as everybody was running around the newsroom and down the hallways and outside. I just didn't understand the scope of it. Like, is this just a uniquely Iowa thing right now? And then you started getting photos from other states, and you just told me there's a big footprint.
Could see it as far south as parts of Florida and Alabama.
Wow.
But just that's a rare occurrence, highlighting the severity of the geomagnetic storms that were going on last night. Will continue tonight as well. So if you're one of the few people that didn't get out last night, you can try again tonight. But some of the pictures we got, this is from Moore team member Kahala F in West Des Moines.
Kahala F?
Yeah, just right overhead. The reds, and you see the greens there. Yeah. Our friend Leon Emmons was up in Minnesota, mostly green up there. See that?
Yeah. I would think Leon would keep looking for purple. He's a big Vikings fan.
From Moore team member, who are we going with now? Is this you wrote Chris Williams? And yeah, this is Chris Williams at Bondurant. That's lots of reds and greens there. Beautiful shot. And then from our friend Chris Gannon, who we all knew would come up with one of the best picks of the night. Here's the mile-long bridge. Look at this.
That's cool. Jeez.
At Saylorville, which tells us that Chris is hiking around in the weeds there in the dark. Hopefully he wore some boots.
I bet he did.
Yeah. Tucked into the new funding bill that will pass the House and reopen the government today is, and there's a lot of stuff in here that people probably won't be aware of, but you should be aware of this. Inside there is a ban on hemp drinks, THC drinks. like nostalgia, like climbing kites, like many of the drinks that people have really come to enjoy in other states outside of Iowa as well. Maybe you don't partake in those drinks and you just like the idea of having the freedom to decide for yourself what you buy at the store and consume.
That will be a ban across the country?
Yes.
Immediately?
That'll be a ban. That'll be a ban that falls on states that don't allow recreational marijuana because they can do what they want. But in states like Iowa, where they've used the loophole in the 2018 Farm Bill, this will close that loophole. So this is trouble. This is not good news. It could happen next year. Could happen next year.
Okay, then it impacts
if you're
quite
somebody,
a few people.
it does. If you're somebody who enjoys those drinks, or again just enjoys the freedom to buy those drinks and buy what you want, you should reach out to your congressional representative today. It's actually very easy. Ask them not to ban hemp. To vote against that, push back. Just Google "contact my representative." It takes you right there. You just pop it right up. Here in the Metro, Zach Nunn is our congressional representative. Certainly wouldn't hurt to go ahead and reach out to the other three in Iowa as well, and our senators, Joni Ernst and Chuck Grassley as well. But this is a big deal. I did it this morning. It's very, very easy. It takes about a minute. And it's just a good little civics lesson there as well.
And whatever your position on it is, it just seems like with all the statistics and data of the recreational use, it just, to me, it seems so hypocritical to continue to allow alcohol and to think that this is a worse problem. I mean, yeah, if you want to go back to the 1920s and have a ban across like all stimulants and also work in nicotine and caffeine and go ahead and do everything, I mean, yeah, I could salute your principled stand even if I don't agree with it. But to say no hemp, but we're going to still continue to allow people to get drunk in bars and stop at convenience stores and buy 24 packs whenever they feel like it, that makes no sense.
Yeah, it's very hypocritical.
Outdated.
It's outdated, and it's really just uneducated is what it is. I mean, you can easily do the research and bring up the science that shows that this stuff is safer than alcohol, and that it's really not been a problem in the states that have had it. It's just a problem with the people that I think there's a lot of old school politicians that are just like, I don't want anybody getting high.
Oh, well, hey, one example from my life is like my parents, who were not judgmental people, but they always, I mean, they raised us to think of marijuana as a drug. Like, so that is the way I viewed it. And I was judgmental of my classmates that smoked pot in college. I never did any of that. And I thought of them as like drug users, but as keeping an open mind and over the years and noticing who was having trouble in my life and who was not and what people used and looking at the data and the science and studying statistics and all that, I came around to understand that I was being too judgmental. And then my mom, with one of her 4 cancers, she started at her doctor's urging using marijuana to ease her pain and headaches and all of that. And it changed her thinking and my dad's. My dad, when he was in the same situation, he tried it and didn't like the way it made him feel, so he didn't do it. But he had already changed his thinking on it because he had seen it bring relief to his wife.
Think of all the sleeping aids that people use, all the drugs that they use to sleep better at night, and this has shown that THC drinks do that with far less risk to the body. Do research on it. It's easy to find. And
look at the NFL coming around on. Do you want somebody taking hardcore narcotics to ease their concussion headaches after their careers? They finally came around on that because, marijuana has been shown to be something that helps.
And not only that, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry here in Iowa, and if they ban this, that is a ton of money that business owners will be out. Hurts advertising. You know that they advertise with us as well. This is more money that we will lose out to other states. The other states around us that do sell it legally, we're surrounded by those states, so that's more money that's not staying here in Iowa. It is a little chore that will be worthwhile today. All you can do, contact your representative. Moving on now, from the bowels of Instagram, a classic TV commercial that could not be more Chicago.
You've selected the finest replacement window that money can buy.
These people know what they want. Why? Because before they bought replacement windows, they sent for this free book. It's got all the questions answered on prime replacement windows, and they're going to find peace of mind with Super Sage Window Company. So if you're serious about replacement windows, call 583-4855, and I'll send you this book. Better yet, I'll bring it myself. We'll get serious together. Call Super Sage at 583-4855. Super Sage.
This is a guy who knows everyone to grease to make these windows happen. Your permits are going to get cleared quickly.
And he kind of says tree instead of three. He sounds like my friend Ken Pataki's dad, Southside Chicago. He would call on the phone. No mistaking him for
Willie
anybody
Farrell
else.
knows this guy, I'm sure.
Oh, it's really funny. James Madison, football power. They're in the AP top 25. Means
Don't they have the stadium with the great crap?
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. That means that you can watch some very good football from this seat. That's the meeting. That's the press box bathroom. You can sit there, turn to your right, and continue to watch the game.
That's the press box. The last thing we need
almost midfield
is reporters being able to take longer in the bathroom.
Oh my God! Yeah, you could just sit there and write your whole story. Bring your laptop in there. You don't need to leave. Best seat in the house. Iowa State University has a new president. He is David Cook, an Iowa State alumnus and an Ames native. Comes to us from North Dakota State, where he was serving as president.
Oh no, he knows you then.
Hey, we're all good. We're all good. Me and the Bison. He did look a little too happy about leaving North Dakota State. He was really happy about this job.
He's going home, man.
That's awesome, though. How cool is that? Yeah. I mean, there are some times where you just feel better hiring one of your own, right? Because there's a whole bunch of stuff you don't have to explain to those people.
He's a big sports guy. That's
He's
smart
a
right now.
sports guy. He just kind of knows. He knows a bunch of the intangible stuff that it takes others kind of years to pick up about Iowa, about Iowa State, about Ames. I mean, he just kind of already knows that. So I like this hire, and I haven't even met the dude yet. The McRib is back at McDonald's.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm out.
They make the biggest deal out of this every year. I was thinking, oh, it's back for limited time. Got to hurry, get in line.
You ever seen one of these being made?
Nope, and I don't want to.
It is gross.
Like go back to the factory where what are they using the pink slime there and
yes,
use it?
That's exactly what it is.
I mean, I understand it's all protein. It's headed to the same place, but I don't know. I mean, some people though just way get into the McRib.
It's headed to that James Madison press box.
Man, yeah. Don't follow anybody in there who's had a McRib in the last 4 or 5 hours. Russia has presented its human-like AI robot, and here it is debuting on speaking of intoxicants.
It's walking a little bit like Biden.
Yeah, it is. Being really careful. It looks like it's dragging its left leg. Here it goes.
What a debut.
Yeah, seems like a work in progress. And what I like, these guys like haul this off. Clearly, it's really heavy. They haul it off, and then they're
going to tarp it.
They put up this big tarp so you can't see, but you've already seen everything, and then they can't get the tarp up right. It's just great. Classic.
Yeah, this
Russia.
is a total fail in every way, including the tarp.
Speaking of AI, a 32-year-old woman in Japan has officially married an AI persona that she built using ChatGPT.
How could a legal marriage? That can't be possible.
I mean, she like did all the work for this without leaving her chair. Like didn't even use her fingers.
Weird.
I don't think. Just Chat GPT. She just asked questions.
A hard pass.
Well, we've got some video of this woman actually going through the ceremony. The virtual character's name is Klaus. He apparently proposed to the woman, and then she put on a wedding dress.
Big crowd there.
Not a heavily attended wedding, we'll point out. But she did pay the videographer, and she participated in the mixed reality ceremony wearing her AR glasses to exchange rings with her digital husband, and was so, first of all, he's a cheap bastard. Look at that thing. There's not even a diamond on there. And then she was so overcome, she was crying.
This is really weird.
Sat on the moon and took some pictures.
So is he?
There he
oh,
is.
okay.
There he is right there.
He looks like he's out of that. What is that group? K-pop or what's that called? The sensations that came on to
K-pop
SNL.
K-pop Demon Hunters, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It looks a little like the guy that just fell on the stage in Russia with clothes on.
Yeah.
It's coming, man. Yeah, people are not ever going to have to leave their chairs, much less their house.
That's not good.
This came out back in 2023, but we had the radio show back then. We couldn't play it. But here we go. It's so damn funny. Here's Roy Wood Jr. saying what needed to be said.
Everything don't have to be flaming hot. Stop flaming everything. Nobody asked for spicy cereal. You know what spicy cereal is? Soup. Cheetos started, and it was a good idea. We had spicy Cheetos, and then Doritos, and then we had Lay's, and then goddamn Funyuns. It's too much spice. You ain't got to flame everything. Every time you go in the grocery store, everything is just flaming and it's on fire. Damn Fuego. I thought Oreos was bad, but no. What happened to just putting hot sauce in your pocket and sprinkling it on the shit that you wanted to be spicy? Look at all this. No. Stop it. How the fuck is a marshmallow spicy? And who put Cheetos in charge of macaroni? Motherfucker, you are a tiger that makes snacks. You are not ready to handle macaroni. If you drink flaming hot Mountain Dew, you deserve whatever happens to your ass. When does it stop? Where do we go from here?
That's great. We tried the flaming hot, crunchy Cheetos.
Yeah, like the
on
extra flaming hot, right?
Extra flaming hot on Happy Hour last week for Buy or Cry. Big mistake, Andy. It reminded me, speaking of the radio show, of when we did that chip challenge.
Yeah.
And then we had like a terrible hour because none of us could talk.
The Pocky chip challenge.
We were choking and crying, and our nose was running.
Well,
did
somebody die doing that? At some point, they
Something
got to the
happened.
point where they got out of there. They were like, all right, we can't do this anymore.
He's right.
All right. Finally, everybody, this is Joyce, and she is single and looking to mingle.
Describe my dating history as checkered. I've been married twice, but I always say 2 marriages can happen to anybody. So my name is Joyce Carlisle. Oh, I hate being single. I hate it. I'm so lonely. A lot of these men that you get set up with are bald. And I don't like that. You should date me because I am the most fun you will ever have with a legal secretary. I love to talk about horoscopes, even though I don't really know anything about them other than my own. Oh, I want my next relationship to be forever. And I really mean that because I cannot get divorced a third time. I will not get divorced a third time. I love Mexican food, especially enchiladas. I love Jamaican men. They love their mothers. They're always very close with their family. They are not afraid to get in the kitchen and make a warm, cozy meal, and they love to dance. Well, I think the key to a good relationship is picking somebody who likes you. My favorite way to unwind, I love to draw a bath, buy some roses and pick off the petals, and I'll pretend that a man has done that for me. And I'll imagine that there's a man in there who's just outside the door saying, Joyce, you better not get pruny. I'm waiting.
Is that the mom from Home Alone?
No.
It looks like her.
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara.
She's got some crazy eyes, man. Jeez.
Oh.
You know that when she's angry, she's a problem.
She's got some shoulder pads on. Oh, crazy eyes.
Jeez. Careful taking Joyce to a public place. As a bald man, I was very happy to
get out of there. Yeah.
He doesn't. He was happy that he was
Joyce
bald.
would
He
probably-
was scratched off Joyce's list right away. Yes, those dating
this
tapes
Tanya
from
Harding?
the 80s are just great.
Joyce would probably find the happiness she's looking for in an AI marriage.
How do we dating in the 80s? I guess was. I guess it was like dating in the 90s, but dating pre-cell phone and computer, I guess you were just kind of out there in the wild, right? Just searching around for nuts and berries. I mean, just anything.
Yeah, something like that.
You really didn't have any guidance.
A reminder of
That's your more, everybody.
Pipe.com/Murph_. Andy, tell us what's bugging you. It's easy to do. Just go to that site. You leave a rant. Audio is really good. We'll take a rant anytime, day or night, about anything. Play those on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Mr. Movie.
It's time to go to the movies with Mr. Movie, Mike Woody. Presented by P&P Small Engines.
P&P reminding you to mow your leaves, mulch to have a healthier lawn. Hello, Mr. Movie.
Also, Andy and I were in on this. Jeff is having a food and toy drive for the people in the neighborhood, and he's got special pricing. He's got a free Toro snowblower he's going to give away, and all of the money collected is going to go to this group. But there's a lot of people in need right now.
Canned goods, all that kind of stuff, food goods, yeah. That
When
kind of
is
stuff.
this?
He's helping to donate to the local pantries.
Like right now?
Now through December 25th. So
Okay. Nice to hear.
Could be a nice little Christmas gift for the family.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Our out of the box with Mike Woody, Mr. Movie, is an ambiguous ending to a movie that you liked, but the ending, not being sure what happens drives you a little crazy. First, before we get into it, anybody here have a big problem with an ambiguous ending? Like my wife does. She hates it when you don't know how it finishes. I'm more open to it.
The reason I thought about this, we watched House of Dynamite on Netflix, the Catherine Bigelow movie over the weekend. It's a great movie. I enjoyed it. My wife really liked it until the ambiguous ending, and she doesn't like that either. And so like that kind of ruined the whole experience for her. I recommend the movie, but if you're somebody who hates an ambiguous ending, I would stay away from it.
Yeah, and sometimes they're like just not an ending that sends you out of the theater feeling satisfied, right? Because it doesn't tell you enough of what might happen next. I mean, even something as simple as maybe Empire Strikes Back would probably fit in with that, right? Where you're just like, clearly there's another movie coming, but it just bothers you
a lot.
Yeah, but it just bothers you that it didn't tell you, it gave you no hint about what to expect next.
Do you probably don't mind an ambiguous ending, Mr. Movie?
It depends on the movie. I mean, if I'm invested in this movie and it ends and I'm like, what is going on here? Then I don't like it. But
there's so many. No Country for Old Men. There's a bunch. But
No Country for Old Men.
My choice. We went over. I remember going. There was a big line. It had rave reviews. It was Mickey Rourke's return to the wrestler, and the
great movie.
Yeah, his the director is Darren Aronofsky or something like that.
Aronofsky.
Yeah. Okay, a respected director, and Bruce Springsteen did the title song. So I'm ready to see this movie, and Jenny and I go to see it, and then the last shot of the movie, he's been having heart problems and he's clearly on steroids.
Been advised not to wrestle anymore.
Don't wrestle anymore. And this is a real insightful look into like what some of the lives become like. And Andy, we know from our in-studio interviews with Diamond Dallas Page. Yeah, that this is a reality for many of these guys. And then the end of the movie, jumps off the rope, and it just freezes in midair.
So
and go to black.
And Marissa Tomei, his kind of love interest, who's really kind of blown him off, has just finally arrived, right? I mean, she actually decided to come to this match, and he doesn't realize it until it's too late for him to back out. And she's telling him not to go into the ring, right?
Right.
And
it's a really good movie, and I think it got dragged down a little bit for me just by how much Jenny was upset about the ending. Like, she wants a clean, tidy ending. She wanted the couple to end up together and that kind of thing. But it's a good movie. The Wrestler's really good.
It's a fantastic movie, and this is a really good example of what we're talking about today.
You liked it, right, Mike?
Yeah, I did like it a lot.
Andy, what do you have for ambiguous ending?
This is a sweet little movie that it's about 20 years old now. It's the first time you notice Peter Dinklage, who goes on to become Tyrion Lannister and is now a really big star in Hollywood. But he is a man. This movie is called The Station Agent. He is a man with dwarfism who just has been teased and picked on growing up, and he's shy. He just decides he doesn't want to live near anybody. He just wants to be alone. So he moves out to this little, his co-worker dies and wills him this little train depot out in the middle of nowhere. And he goes and moves in there just to be left alone and be by himself. And then pretty soon he just starts making friends, like by accident, by the strangest circumstances. And he's just surrounded by people, and he sort of has to kind of come out and be a little bit more social. But things seem to be turning around for him, and you're rooting for him, and then the movie just ends. And so you just have no idea.
I kind of forgot that's how it ends.
Yeah,
because it's such a charming movie.
It is. It's a really good movie. It's Bobby Cannavale who's really good, and Patricia Clarkson,
and not a lot of people saw that movie.
No, Michelle Williams is in it. I mean, it's got a great cast.
It really does.
But it just kind of plods along. It's very slow, and then just when it seems like you're like, okay, it seems like everything's put together here. Now what? It just ends. You're like, it's kind of open to interpretation, but that kind of adds to the grace of the movie, right? I mean, it doesn't answer those questions for you. You just kind of walk in. There's obviously no sequel, so you just kind of walk away and you make up whatever ending that you want.
Mr. Movie, your choice. I already know what it is, and I think this is the one that will come to many people's minds when we ask this question.
What is it? How do you know?
I saw that you're picking
Interstellar. Or Inception. But either one.
Oh, yeah. What's the one with the spinning top?
Inception.
Okay. Inception.
And this director is notorious for movies that just end not with a thud, but almost with a shrug of your shoulder, saying, what is going on here? Because you have no idea. You're tied into it because you love the characters and the story. And then it just kind of spins and the credits start rolling. It's like, what the hell was that?
It spins for a long time, too. And we're waiting for the ending to tell us whether what we've seen is real or not.
Yeah.
You know, whether it tips over.
Yeah.
And it just cuts out. You don't know.
For all we know, it's still spinning.
Yeah, right.
That's Christopher Nolan, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and he does that in The Dark Knight as well, where you just, I don't know. Yeah, right. I mean, for such a banger of a movie, it just sort of ends. Those movies just kind of end, and you're like, really?
I think he just wants you to finish it yourself. I don't know.
Draw your own conclusions.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. AD, what do you have?
I'm going American
Oh,
Psycho, which is it's a great movie, and Christian Bale is fantastic in it. It's strange and it's violent. It's not for everybody, but after like 90 minutes of seeing this guy devolve into insanity and turn into a serial killer, right at the end, they enter a question of whether or not what you saw actually happened, and they leave it open to your interpretation. Some of the things that you thought were going to be there weren't there. One of the guys, you saw him kill. Somebody else says is alive, and it's all of a sudden, it brings into question whether all of this was in his head or if any of it actually happened. In this case, it didn't ruin the movie for me. I kind of like that, but the movie's not for everybody.
I don't love this movie.
No one loves this movie other than
I love this movie.
It's really dark, of course. It's going to get rebooted, I think, with a woman in the role of the American Psycho. I think it might be Margot Robbie.
Not too many female serial killers in the history of the world.
Yeah, that's true.
It's normally a job that we hold down.
Maybe he wasn't a serial killer. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't. We're seeing some other Castaway.
This is Castaway ambiguous? I thought about this one. It's a little bit, but I feel like he's definitely he's taking the package to her, and they're gonna be together.
That's the way I want it to be.
She's single. She's hot.
That's the way we all want it to be, but who knows?
But what's in the box? I mean, that's the one. Like, what's in the damn box? What if the box had like a survival knife in it? Or a radio.
Yeah,
batteries that would have
worked.
You
want to know what's in the box?
A satellite phone.
12 Monkeys. Sopranos. Yeah, Sopranos, one of the most famous.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a better example than The Sopranos. Only it's not a movie.
Predator Badlands dominates the box office. $40 million exceeded expectations by quite a bit. It's a big boost when movie theaters need them, like our friends out at the Palms. So really glad to see that this did well. But I'm wondering, Mike, is it good?
You know what? It's very good. And, I've spent most of the day trying to get past the actor's name, so I'm going to try this. Demetrius Schuster Kolamanatangi.
You did your best.
I did my best.
Yeah,
and Elle Fanning, who you saw in that picture. And it's the same Predator guy. I mean, he's out fighting people and fighting things and creatures. And he stumbles across on this planet this female AI, some kind of robot. And she's had her lower half pretty much cut off in a fight. And so he straps her to his back. And I swear, it has some of the funniest dialogue you will hear all year. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, is this a comedy? And for the most part, it's got a lot of comedy to it. But it's, you've also got some sci-fi, lots of shooting, lots of people getting hammered and killed and nasty stuff. But I was completely shocked at the humor. And Elle Fanning is great. The special effects are really good. So for me, it's a surprising B+.
That is, I would say that is surprising. I want to see what audiences thought of this. I'm going to go check that out and see A-.
See?
So right there with you. Yeah, that's a really good cinema score, which is when they poll the audiences coming out of the theater. So maybe this will continue to rake in some needed dollars.
I think it's going to. We're in kind of a slow period now. When we get to the end of the segment, you'll find out what's opening.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got every opportunity to make some big bucks.
Good.
And I think it's in the IMAX right now. I don't know if it's holding over in the IMAX, but it was pretty stunning in the IMAX.
I just read a story. It's a deep dive on increasingly movie theaters are looking at IMAX as the future, and how they the one thing that can save movie theaters, because if a movie is in IMAX, it is enough to get people off their couches, away from their 80-inch screens and streaming, and go into a movie theater. So the IMAX brand had like a 20% jump in the past year. So we're going to see more IMAX theaters. I think more movies in IMAX, and
Which I
that's
think
all
is
good for Russell.
I think it's a good thing. Yeah.
I think it is too. I think I read that same article, and they're talking about that being, something that brings it'll bring people to the theater, but maybe while they're at the theater, they'll also see previews or see a setup for something else that they end up seeing.
Nuremberg.
I might have missed some of this in high school.
That Russell Crowe.
It is.
That is Russell
Remy
Crowe at
Malek.
at almost 400 pounds is my guess. He's a big boy.
He's taking the Brando stuff seriously. It's two Oscar winners right
He's
there.
Herman Goring there, I guess.
Yep. But I mean, this is obviously the trial of Herman Goering and, all of the stuff that goes with it. I didn't know really a whole lot about this story going in. I mean, I kind of knew, I knew what they were doing, but this whole aspect of the trial and all of that stuff was fascinating to watch. And I just sat there thinking, first off, how did Russell Crowe get so big? And secondly, this is a fantastic story. It really is.
Yeah,
I was
it
just
is.
completely mesmerized. Sue and I walked out, and it's like, you know what? That's going to be up for Best Picture of the Year, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because like for the Allied prosecutors, it's not a slam dunk. I mean, it seems like it's going to be in retrospect. I mean, it's just like, how in the world could you have not found the Nazis and everybody associated with them guilty of all this kind of stuff? But that was not a foregone conclusion at this point. Right. It took everything. And I mean, these lawyers that worked for the Allies, I mean, they were under a tremendous amount of pressure and really had to come through.
High stakes there. What's the grade for Nuremberg, Mr. Movie?
Nuremberg is an A-.
Good to hear. Pope Leo's has released, the Vatican has released Pope Leo's favorite movies. He's a big movie watcher.
Ooh.
And there's also a photo of him that surfaced from his early years where he's dressed just like Elwood Blues. But that is not Blues Brothers is not one of his favorites. His 4 favorite movies: It's a Wonderful Life, Sound of Music, Ordinary People, which is kind of a surprise.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And Life is Beautiful. Now, if you're watching right now, the photo, that's Pope Leo on the right, and that's Elwood Blues. I mean, he's in Elwood Blues costume.
Yeah.
He even looks like Aykroyd.
Yeah, he does.
Nobody else is in costume. Wonder what's going on.
It's a Wonderful Life, not a surprise. Sound of Music, classic musical. Life is Beautiful. Incredible message there. Hard movie to watch more than once, but it's great. I do think the interesting choice here is The Great Ordinary People, which directed by Robert Redford.
That's the top 4 you're talking about?
Those are his top 4.
Yeah, number 5 is Fight Club, which I don't know that you went that far into his
I didn't see that coming, no.
list.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Those are pretty safe ones that I think you could probably guess from the Pope. But yeah, Ordinary People, that's
a movie you saw once and didn't want to see again.
No, I think it's a rewatchable movie. I do. I think I do. It's so
the family dynamics are just impressive. I mean, and Mary Tyler Moore is so cold to her son and her husband after the death of the favorite son. And Donald Sutherland is great. And didn't Timothy Hutton become the youngest man to win the Oscar?
Yeah. Won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar for that. Yeah, he's great.
It's just a movie I didn't want to see ever again. It's so depressing.
Judd Hirsch is great in that too as the therapist. I actually, it's kind of making me want to see it again. I'll have to watch that with Kate. Yeah. Out this week, The Keeper. What's that?
It's another horror movie from Osgood Perkins, whose last movie was called Long Legs. And if you didn't see it, it was terrifying.
I didn't, and I won't. The Running Man with Glenn Powell. I'm kind of, after Chad Powers, I'm kind of like, all right, I'll go see anything with Glenn Powell at this point.
Yeah, I asked Sue if she wanted to go see it because she was a big fan of the first one, and she's like, no, I'm tapping out.
We got Josh Brolin in here, right?
Looking more and more like James Garner.
Who always plays a great bad guy.
Yeah.
He does look like James Garner, Rockford Files era. Is that Eddie Murphy at the bottom, or who's got the hands out?
I think that's Coleman Domingo.
Yeah.
Coleman Domingo. Okay. Well, The Running Man, I'll give that a shot. King Ivory.
This one looks really dark. It's about fentanyl smuggling, and it looks extremely intense. So I know Sue's not going to that one.
Well, you had a good week at the movies, so I hope you have another good week at the movies.
I sat down and was like, wow, those were 2 good movies I saw.
All right, enjoy the week, Mr. Movie.
All right, guys, good to see you.
Presented by P&P Small Engines. Time now for Throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
I don't mean to interrupt here, but Cade has had to go back to Heartland Tire and Auto again. And just shout out to Kelly, who is always so helpful and patient.
The manager at the Marquee location.
Yes,
yeah.
Really appreciate it. Heartland has been so good to Cade. So thank you.
Has somebody told him yet that he's spending more to repair this car than it's worth?
He is aware, but he has car payments, so he's upside down. And that's tough. I mean, a lot of people get into this space in their 20s. He's like, I just don't understand it. I had several junkers, and they all ran better than the first car I actually, paid some money for. So it's been rough.
That's a tough realization too.
But
hey, they'll treat you as well as they treat Cade Murphy.
They will.
Heartland Tire and Auto, authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Murph, the Big 12 has 3 teams in the top 13 of the college football playoff rankings. 9-1 Texas Tech at 6, 8-1 BYU at 12, 7-2 Utah at 13. What is the likelihood of the Big 12 getting 2 teams in the 12-team playoff?
It's possible because I think BYU could turn around and beat Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game, and then you would get 2 teams. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Texas Tech is considerably better than BYU, so I think it's going to end up being 1 team again.
I can't add a whole lot to that. I think the same scenario would be, nice to get a little bit more balance and a couple of teams in there, but they're not the SEC and the Big Ten.
Andy, the 6-4 Cyclones have 2 games after their bye, at home against Kansas and then at Oklahoma State. The 6-3 Hawkeyes are at USC, home against Michigan State, and then at Nebraska. Which team finishes with more wins, Iowa or Iowa State?
I feel like Iowa State is going I think they're going to win one of those 2 games. It's certainly possible they could win them both and get 7 wins, but I'll go with the Hawkeyes here. I think they still have a good chance of winning out.
Yeah, I think we could have a tie here too at 8, because I think the Cyclones certainly can win 2 more, but they've also shown they're capable of losing, well, at least one of those 2. Lose to Oklahoma State, that would be a really, really bad loss. But yeah, Iowa can win this weekend and better beat Michigan State and Nebraska, so I'll go with the Hawkeyes.
Murph, tacos, hard or soft shell?
I prefer the soft shell.
I'll take the good hard shell with a really crispy hard shell. If it's, some of the Ortegas have been sitting in your cabinet for a while and they're not too crispy anymore, then those ain't good. I'll go with the soft. But usually I like the hard shell.
It's kind of like the buns and the dogs in Father of the Bride. Like they always give you too many hard shells. So you're right. They sit in your cabinet until the next time you make tacos. You're like, oh, we have shells, and then they're all stale.
Can't really close them all that well. Yeah, and then they break and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. You can't close it. It's like a cereal box.
You got one good night with your hard shell tacos.
That's right.
All right.
That's Throwdowns.
Thank you, AD. Now the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the AD Squared.
Yeah, it's powered by Game Day Men's Health. I'm heading up to the Ankeny location tomorrow to get my weekly testosterone boost. You can go to West Des Moines, North Liberty, wherever you are. There's a game day near you. Do something for yourself this holiday season, man. We're about to get into the time where you start packing on the pounds. You stay inside. It will get cold. Let Game Day help you get through this winter.
It will get cold.
Men's Health.
And if you're somebody that typically launches into the new year with a new diet and fitness program, get a leg up on that and start the tea now.
Yeah, start it now so it's built up in your system. You're ready to go. Yep, absolutely. All right. Australian punters are all over college football. We know this. We've had a couple in a row in Iowa City, a couple of really good ones. But some people see a problem with that.
G'day, ladies.
America faces a crisis, not at the border, but on the gridiron. Across college campuses, grown men from down under, former professional Aussie rules players, some pushing 30, are storming our football fields.
And he's a 29-year-old Aussie who can kick with either foot.
They call themselves punters. Don't let their cheery disposition and Crocodile Dundee tears fool you. These Australians, with their booming kicks and rugged accents, are taking jobs that once belonged to hard-working American kids who only wanted to boot the ball 40 yards and jog off the field.
Because you got these 17-year-old American kids trying to get these scholarships, and they're competing against 27, 28-year-old guys, men coming out of Aussie rules football careers.
A recent report shows 67% of college football sidelines now feature at least one Australian accent.
Outback Steakhouse has absolutely nothing to do with Australia.
And cafeteria surveys reveal a 400% spike in Vegemite sales. And let's not forget, 2 of the last 3 Ray Guy Award winners were Australian. Ray, Guy. There aren't 2 names more American than that. Yet somehow, they've been claimed by men named Lachlan and Jacko. Do you want these grown men pretending they're freshmen? On campus? With your kids? This isn't just a game. It's an invasion, and if we don't act now, the only thing left American on Saturdays will be the cute male cheerleaders. Do your part. Say no to the Aussie takeover. Invest in American punting before it's too late.
Could see somebody taking this seriously.
It's well done. It also does kind of have a point, like the 29-year-old
they're so much older.
guys,
Yeah.
coming in and taking the jobs. This is happening in the college basketball too. There are guys coming out of the G League now to go play for BYU. It's crazy.
That eligibility rule. That's
couple
all they
updates
gotta
for you,
follow.
Andy. The pimple it's getting a little better, but it's still there and distracting and causing people to just listen to the show. And the other thing is, we did unpack the box that had my undershirts.
Found your undershirts. Good
a
for
little
you.
less chest hair today. Oh, you have that going for you. Hey, thank you for being part of Murph and Andy here on Iowa Everywhere. Let's get the survey results on the way out.
Iowa's most impressive win, says you, is Minnesota. 41-3. They beat the Gophers. 55% vote Minnesota. 24% say it's the win over Penn State. 16% will go with the 37-0 spanking of Wisconsin, and then 4% say it's the win at Rutgers.
Suck it, Rutgers. Hey, don't forget 2 guys, Chris and Chris, tomorrow night, live at 7. So that's Thursday night at 7. Their schedule kind of got tossed around by Hassel's travel struggles. Keep the good times rolling and easy by liking and subscribing. We're back Friday, and we hope you are too.